You know, there's nothing quite as painful as feeling like your own children don't respect you. After all the love, the sacrifices, the late nights, and the years of guidance, it can feel like a deep wound when they dismiss your words, ignore your advice, or worse, treat you like an afterthought. If you've ever sat alone, wondering, where did I go wrong? Or, why don't they value me anymore? You're not alone. Many parents in their 60s, 70s, and beyond face this heartache. But here's the good news. Respect isn't something you have to beg for. It's something you can rebuild, starting today. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But they're grown now. How can I change things? The truth is, while you can't control how others behave, you can change how you respond. And often, that's the key to shifting the entire dynamic. In this video, we'll walk through 6 powerful ways to regain respect, not by demanding it, but by embodying the kind of strength, wisdom, and self-worth that naturally invites it back into your relationships. This isn't about guilt-tripping your kids or playing mind games. It's about reclaiming your dignity, setting healthy boundaries, and fostering mutual respect, because you deserve nothing less. Whether your children have become distant, dismissive, or even outright rude, these steps will help you navigate the situation with grace and confidence. So, if you're ready to stop feeling like an afterthought and start rebuilding the respect you've earned, let's begin. Because no matter how old you are or how long this tension has been brewing, it's never too late to make a change. Let's start with the first and most important step: setting boundaries with love. Now, I know that word, boundaries, might make some of us hesitate. We've spent decades putting our children first, so the idea of saying no or speaking up for ourselves can feel foreign, even selfish. But here's what I've learned after talking with hundreds of parents in our situation. Boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to healthier relationships. Take my friend Helen, who used to drop everything whenever her daughter called, even if it meant canceling her own plans. Over time, she noticed her daughter had started treating her like an on-call assistant rather than a mother. One day, Helen gently said, "I love helping you, but I need you to check with me first before assuming I'm available." At first, her daughter was surprised, maybe even a little upset. But within weeks, something beautiful happened. Their conversations became more meaningful because now, when Helen said yes, her daughter knew it came from genuine care, not obligation. The key is consistency. Whether it's about how they speak to you, how often they visit, or what they expect from you. Clear, kind boundaries show your children that you respect yourself, which teaches them to respect you too. Now, the second way to regain respect is leading by example. We can't demand what we don't demonstrate. If we want our children to be patient with us, we must show patience with them. If we want them to value our wisdom, we need to share it without criticism or, "I told you so." I'll never forget George, an 82-year-old Navy veteran who felt his son dismissed him as out of touch. Instead of arguing, George started asking his son thoughtful questions about his work and life, showing genuine interest without judgment. Slowly, his son began asking for his perspective more often. Why? Because George modeled the kind of respectful listening he hoped to receive. This leads perfectly into our third point: choosing your battles wisely. Not every slight needs addressing. Sometimes what feels like disrespect might just be generational differences, stress, or simple forgetfulness. My neighbor Evelyn used to get her feelings hurt every time her grandkids texted instead of called. Then she realized, for them, texting is showing care. So she adapted. Now they have a weekly video call scheduled, and she gets daily little messages that make her smile. By meeting them halfway, she kept the connection strong while still honoring her own needs. Ask yourself, is this about real disrespect or just different ways of showing love? Save your energy for what truly matters. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you found certain boundaries particularly helpful with your family? Your experiences could help others in our community. And if you're finding this helpful, consider subscribing. We're building a wonderful support system here. Let's move to our fourth powerful strategy: reconnecting through shared joy. When respect fades, it's often because the relationship has become all about obligations or disagreements. We need to remind each other why we enjoy being together. Martha, a viewer from Florida, shared how she started sending her son newspaper clippings about his favorite baseball team with little notes. Just a simple way to say, "I remember what makes you happy." Soon, he began calling more often, not out of duty, but because they'd rediscovered their connection. Now, the fifth and perhaps most transformative step: cultivating unshakable self-respect. This is where real change begins. Because here's the hard truth. If we don't value ourselves, we can't expect others to value us consistently. This means speaking about yourself with kindness, even when joking. "Oh, don't mind this old lady" becomes, "Let me share what I've learned." Pursuing your interests passionately, whether it's painting class, volunteer work, or learning technology. Refusing to chase after those who don't make time for you. Most importantly, recognizing your inherent worth isn't determined by how others treat you. I think of my friend Rose, who at 78 started saying no to family gatherings where she felt ignored. Instead, she hosted smaller dinners where real conversation could happen. At first, her family resisted, but soon they realized, when Rose wasn't there, something vital was missing. By honoring herself, she taught them to honor her too. This brings us to our final, most challenging but liberating strategy: knowing when to lovingly step back. Some relationships need space to heal. This doesn't mean cutting ties, unless absolutely necessary, but rather shifting your expectations. Investing in relationships that nourish you, finding peace whether the respect returns or not. Remember Mrs. Thompson from our community. After years of strained relations with her daughter, she decided to stop initiating contact. It was painful, but she focused on her own growth. 6 months later, her daughter reached out, this time with genuine curiosity about her mother's life. Sometimes creating space is what allows respect to regrow. The beautiful thing is, as we implement these steps, we often find our entire outlook shifts. We worry less about earning respect and more about living with dignity. And that's when the magic happens. Now, let's bring this all together. As we come to the end of our conversation today, I want you to remember this. You are worthy of respect, not because of what you do for others, but simply because of who you are. A lifetime of love and sacrifice can never be erased, even if right now your children seem to have forgotten. What we've talked about today isn't about changing your children. It's about reclaiming your power. Setting boundaries with love, leading by example, choosing your battles wisely, reconnecting through joy, cultivating self-respect, and knowing when to step back. These aren't just strategies, they're acts of profound self-love. And when you practice them consistently, something remarkable happens. You begin to change the dance, and others have no choice but to follow your lead. I think of my dear friend Eleanor, who at 82 told me, "I spent years waiting for my daughter to treat me right." Then I realized I needed to treat myself right first. Today, their relationship isn't perfect, but there's mutual respect that wasn't there before. And that, my friends, is everything. So as you move forward, be patient with yourself. These changes take time. Some days will be easier than others. But every time you choose to honor yourself, whether it's by calmly stating a boundary or pursuing your own happiness, you're planting seeds of change. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these strategies resonates most with you? Have you tried any of them before? Your wisdom could be exactly what another parent needs to hear today. If this video touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more wonderful people like you find our community. And consider subscribing if you haven't already. We're building something special here, a place where your experiences matter and your golden years can shine. Remember, it's never too late to rewrite your story. The respect you desire begins with the respect you give yourself. You've raised families, built lives, and weathered storms. That makes you extraordinary. Now is your time to stand in that truth. From my heart to yours, thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue this journey of living our best lives at every age. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You are valued, you are important, and you are deeply loved. Here's to new beginnings and relationships filled with mutual respect. Take care, my friend.